The clink of cutlery froze midair when my father said it. We're giving your trust fund to your sister. She actually achieved something. The room inhaled. Candles trembled. My sister smirked like she had rehearsed it in the mirror. I didn't look at her. I watched my father's jaw lock into the shape he used for verdicts. My mother smiled the way people do when they think they're being kind while cutting you open. I felt calm. Not peaceful, precise. I pulled out my phone. The silence stretched. I let it. Then I turned the screen toward them. My mother leaned in. Her breath caught. That's 67 million? I smiled, small, polite. The trust fund you're talking about? I cashed it out at 18 and tripled it. But there's something else you should know. The word else landed like a match. I learned early how this family worked. Love was conditional. Applause followed spectacle. I was the quiet one. The one who read. The one who asked why. My sister was noise and trophies and a laugh that filled rooms. They fed her light and called it ambition. They fed me shadow and called it patience. I trusted them anyway. That was my first mistake. When the trust fund papers came, they framed it as generosity. A safety net. I read every page. Every footnote. I asked questions. They called me difficult. I waited. Then I signed. At 18, I walked into a beige office and asked to speak to the man who actually made decisions. I showed him the clauses they forgot to lock. Liquidity triggers. Early exit windows. I listened more than I spoke. When I left, the trust was no longer a cage. It was capital. I didn't tell them. I let them believe the version of me they preferred. The one who needed them. Years passed. I built quietly. I learned markets the way surgeons learn anatomy. I made mistakes small and lessons permanent. I hired people smarter than me and paid them well. I stayed invisible. Every time my sister posted a win, my mother sent it to me like a reminder. I replied with a thumbs up. The betrayal didn't arrive as a slap. It arrived as weather. Invitations stopped. Conversations thinned. I noticed how my father stopped asking about my work. How my sister used my name like a punchline. How my mother's praise always came with a condition attached. Then the anniversary dinner invite came. Formal, dress code, speeches. I knew what it was. They had always needed an audience. I didn't confront them. I prepared. I reviewed old documents. I audited conversations. I pulled bank records and emails and contracts they assumed were private because they had always assumed I was careless. I wasn't looking for revenge. Not yet. I was looking for leverage. I found it in a shell company they used to move money between family accounts. I found signatures that didn't belong. I found dates that told a story no one wanted told. I didn't call a lawyer. I hired 3. I didn't threaten. I documented. I rehearsed nothing. I planned everything. Back in the dining room, my sister's smirk faltered as I swiped. I let the numbers sit there. I let them do the work. Wealth is loud when it's undeniable. My father cleared his throat. Authority scrambling for oxygen. This isn't relevant, he said. I nodded. You're right. That's just context. I tapped again. The next screen showed transfers. Clean lines, timestamps, names. My mother leaned back, pale now. What is this? It's the part you forgot, I said. You taught me to read the fine print. You just never thought I would. I didn't accuse. I didn't raise my voice. I described dates, amounts, the shell, the signatures, the quiet siphoning meant to punish me for not performing the right kind of success. My sister laughed. Too sharp. You're bluffing. I looked at her for the first time. I already filed. The room collapsed inward. My father stood, then sat. My mother's hands shook. The candles burned lower. I didn't do this to hurt you, I said. I did it to end it. There it was. The thing else. I'm not taking anything from you, I continued. I'm returning what was never yours to redirect. The filings trigger audits. The audits trigger consequences. I made sure the timing was tonight. My father whispered my name like it was a plea. It wasn't. I loved you, I said. But love that requires me to be smaller is just training for obedience. No one spoke. They didn't need to. The truth had weight. It pressed down on the table, on the plates, on the years. I stood. My chair barely made a sound. Happy anniversary. Outside, the night was cool and clean. I breathed. Not relief, clarity. I didn't win because I embarrassed them. I won because I stopped asking permission. I didn't destroy the family. I refused to keep financing a lie. Justice isn't loud. It's final. I walked away lighter. Not because I took something back. Because I finally put something down.